Hello everyone, this is Mohammed from Roubaix, Maroc. Today I will be explaining some tricks regarding the active model serializers. This video is gonna be the continuation of the previous one. In the previous episode, we configured our API to use the JSON API adapter, and we added include relationships, specify which fields we have to return, etc. Let's run our server and try what we did last time. So the response was like that. If we had a look here, we have one query to select all the books, and then we have like many queries to fetch like the authors of each book. So to avoid the n+1 queries, we simply can add to our controller book that's all that includes authors. And now if we call the API again, so we have only two queries. The first one is to fetch the books, and the second one to fetch all the authors which belongs to these books. Yeah, second thing is we have like a dash key here, like full name. What about if we want like this key to be like underscore key? For that we have to go to the configuration file, and let's copy this here and use another config attribute called key transform underscore. Let's restart our server and try that again. Yeah, now as you see that the keys are underscore. No pages. Yeah. Another thing is if we want to add the pagination links by default. So for that, it's simply we need to add the Caminari gem or will paginate gem. I will add the Caminari. So let's bundle install. And run the server again. And let's try it. We don't have it yet, so all what we have to do is to go to the controller and call like page 1 per page, let's say 20. We try it again. Yeah, here it should be per, because per page it's for will paginate gem. Here is it. We have the pagination links, the first one, the last one, and next one, previous one, and this one. Yeah, let's break this into multiple lines. To make it dynamic, we have to change this so we can pass in the URL. The JSON API normally use this params page number, and here it's used params page size. So if we pass this here, this should be a symbol, and let's pass this one here. This is going to fail because we don't pass anything here, and this params page is empty, so we can't fetch the number and size from this hash. So what we can use like the dig function, and we can pass page then number. So the dig function, what it does, it just fetch the number from the page hash, and if page doesn't exist, so it just return nil. Here the same, we do dig page size. We remove this. Now if we call this again, it's not gonna return the error, and here the page by default is 1 and the size is 25. Let's pass these values from the URL. So we do page size equal to 2 and page number equal to 1. So here we return only the two first books. As you see that the last page is 2. So now if we pass like the second page, it will fetch the other two books, and the third page it doesn't have any data, and so on. Yeah. Now let's add some links to the serializer. For instance, we want to add like a link. Let's call it self, and then we call book URL or path, and here you pass objects. If we fetch the data again, in the books we'll find like a links section which include all the links. So here like self, which is like books and for. Let's add another one for authors. For instance, if we want to return like authors of this specific book, so we do authors path, and here book ID object that ID. Let's fetch again, and here we have two links. The other one is authors, so you can fetch the authors of that specific book. And last trick I will cover today is the deserialization. When you want to do a post or put requests using the JSON API, you pass the data following the JSON API specification. So if you want to create a new book, you pass like a data hash with ID, the type, and then the attribute, and later on the relationships. So to deserialize this data, in order to be able to use in our books controller, we only have to do active model serializers, deserialization that JSON API parse method. Here you pass like all the params, and in the second arguments you specify which attribute you want to allow. So in our case we'll allow title, language code, number of pages, and authors. Let's here some debugging. We want to check what are the parameters and what's the deserialization method returns. Now we need to pass like a post request to the book's URL with this data in the body. Here we want to create a book. So here the ID is not needed actually. So we specify only the type, the attribute, so title, language code, and number of pages, and here the relationships. So if we check how many authors do we have, so we have like authors with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 authors with IDs from 1 to 6. So we can specify here whatever 3, 4 as authors of this book. Yeah, let's create it. We go to our console. So if we check params, yeah, we have the data with this attribute. If we check book params, so we see that we have like a normal hash that we can use in the controller with title, language code, number of pages, and author IDs 3 and 4. Let's go. Yeah, here it shows that it's created. If we fetch the list of books, we found that the another book has been added. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I just wanted to cover these few tricks to use with the active model serializers. In the next episode I will cover a new gem, so stay tuned and see you in the next one.